Namaste, I am Avnish from India. I belong to the state of Bihar. And welcome to Spotlight, our podcast series under Nalanda Dialogues. The country in Spotlight today, this country was called Gold Coast earlier because of the sheer amount of gold that it had. Um, Kofi Annan, the world renowned UN Secretary General, belonged to this country, and this beautiful country was once a global leader when it comes to the production of cocoa, from which chocolates are made. And I'm sure you must have guessed this beautiful country. It is Ghana. And to discuss about the different dimensions of Ghana, the first-hand account in a raw and original form, we have Sheila with us. Sheila, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So shall we start off with the discussion right away? With the very name Ghana. So if you could please tell us more about what does this word Ghana mean?
Thank you. Actually, through the plural colonialism, the present day Ghana is still undebatable. We do not get the actual exact meaning of Ghana. Some are saying it is an empire name from Niger River, that is Soninke.
Okay.
But actually, it has been specified. So I would say, in the colonial period, the country was doing small-scale mining in the 8th century, and it still exists right now. They mined those gold at the coastal areas to justify the name.
Okay.
So that is when the name Gold Coast came about, because the people were mining gold at the coastal areas as the form of household economic activity. So for now, Ghana actually hasn't been justified. It's still under research.
Oh yeah. So thank you so much for explaining us what went into the name and the different dimensions associated with it. We also came to know that Ghana is probably the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence. It was in the year 1957, I guess. So if you could please tell us something about the freedom movement and independence of Ghana.
Wow, that's a great question. Ghana gained independence, as you've already stated, in 1957 by Osadefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He fought for the country. And since then, his party or administration was a single party. But through the Liberation Council, it was now became a democratic government. So as at now, the country lives in peaceful and harmony. And I can tell you that in the rank of peaceful nations, Ghana is the second in Africa after Mauritius.
Nice. So that is the idea behind having this podcast. Like these important points, like Ghana is the second country when it comes to peaceful and all. So very few people know about it. So when we come up with our own first-hand experience, then we are telling the world about our country in our own language and based on our own experience. And you mentioned about Kwame Nkrumah, and he was the son of a goldsmith, and he was himself a teacher. So that is a prime example of how even a common man can rise up to such a high position. So that is another important lesson that countries like Ghana can teach to the entire world. So thank you so much for your points on that. Sheila, the next question for our beautiful audience. Please tell us about one place in Ghana that is your favorite and you would like our audience to visit.
Oh, that is a great question. I'm waiting to come across. I would say Ashanti Region. Why am I saying Ashanti Region? Some might say, maybe if you know me already, you will say maybe I'm a can. That's why I'm recommending Ashanti region for you, but that is not so.
Yeah.
When you speak about Ashanti region, which is the capital of Kumasi. Kumasi is popularly known when you mention about Ghana because of their history background, because of the kingdom. They are the largest kingdom in Ghana, and also the king is well recognized.
Wow.
In European country, wherever he stands, if you mention Otumfo or Seitutu, everybody can tell you a lot about it. Moving from the kingdom, Ashanti has a rich culture in Ghana. Though Ghana has a diversity of culture, but Ashanti has a rich culture. Have you heard of the golden stew? You've not heard of the golden stew?
Yeah.
There is a lot about it.
Wow.
When the British came to steal the stew that is embraced with gold. So Ashanti sits on gold. The kingdom is where the popularly Ghanaian clothes were originated from. We call it kente, and it was found in Bonre, a small town called Bonre in Ashanti region. And also, Ashanti region, they have kind people, and they welcome everybody that comes there in their religion. Do you know all the 16 regions in Ghana? It's only Ashanti region that you can find all the regions, tribes there.
Wow.
For instance, we have Fanti New Town, we have Anraga, we have Aigbe New Town, we have Bantama, we have Abuabo, comprises of Muslims from the northern sectors, a whole lot. So it tells you that Ashanti peoples, or the Ashanti region, are people that welcome everybody that comes their own. Will you forget about our food? Fufu. We have something local name called Eto and Garifuto. So when you come to Ashanti region, there are a lot of things that will make you happy. For instance, a lot of tourist attraction. You can talk about Kumasi Zoo. You can talk about the Manshia Palace, which is the largest palace in Ghana. And you can talk about Okomfo Anoche sword. Okomfo Anoche was the powerful man that stood and fought for Ghana. Stood and fought for the Ashantis.
Wow.
So you can visit Ashanti region, and you will still see the sword there that he used to fought in the colonial era.
Wow.
So there are a lot of things in Ashanti region that can make you enjoy, make you fun, travel to a lot of places. We are not forgetting about our Lake Bosontrain, that's artificial lake. It's also found in Ashanti region. And one of the most recognized scientific university, that's KNUST, which is also built or founded by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
So Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. It's also well known in Kumasi. So Kumasi, I recommend Kumasi to your audience.
Wow. So there you go, dear audience. So the Ashanti region is, as Sheila beautifully explained, so that is like a microcosm of the entire Ghana. So, it has representations from all the different regions and different societies of Ghana, and not just in terms of historical heritage, but when it comes to science and technology, artificial lake. So irrespective of what your interest is, there is something that will interest you in this particular Ashanti region. So now I cannot wait more to myself personally visit Ghana, and especially Ashanti region. Wow, that was amazing, Sheila. Sheila, so another thing, we came across was this Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park in Accra, the capital of Ghana. And interestingly, this park was commissioned in 1992, 20 years after he passed away. So, have you been to this place? If you could please tell more about this park, how it is like.
Yeah, actually, I've been passing around all day when I'm going to town or
Yeah.
going for function, but I've not entered inside. So we built, the country built that in memory of Nkrumah,
Wow.
in honor of his name, to fought for the country. And the building, it was built at where he stood and commissioned the Independence Day.
Wow.
That's our beloved country, Ghana is free forever. So it was the same location that they announced the Independence Day. That was where the building was built. And as a foreigner, when you come, they don't take something like a gate fee. It is free.
Wow.
It is free. You don't take anything. Yeah, it is free for you to just visit. But aside free, it's also fetching the country something like revenue, because it attracts a lot of people from different continents to come and see the area. And also it exploits our history, how Ghana came about, and who founded the country. So I will say Nkrumah Memorial Park play a lot in terms of history about Ghana.
Yeah, so I mean, it tells the world in short about the history, the independence, and after all, it is a reminder to the Ghanese people also about how difficult this gaining of freedom has been. So yes, I mean, these kinds of memorials and parks, they serve much more objectives and purposes than we can actually directly visualize. Exactly. And any talk about Ghana is incomplete without the chocolates and cocoa from Ghana. So one food item from Ghana that you would like our audience to try.
Well, I see. Okay, Ghana is, as I've already stated, Ghana is rich in diversity of cultural differences. So in terms of food, it comes on depend on the region you find yourself most specifically. But the common one I would recommend that everybody takes is Ghana Jollof.
Ghana Jollof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghana Jollof is well known. Ghana Jollof is everywhere. And I bet you you won't think of coming back to India when you eat Ghana Jollof. Ghana Jollof is so nice, and it's rich in a lot of protein and the rest. So I will recommend Ghana Jollof. Though we have a lot like fufu and light soup.
Yeah.
That is there. We have rice balls. We call it in local dialect a mutu.
Yeah.
And peanut butter soup.
Exactly.
So Ghana has a lot.
Yeah.
And even aside the cocoa, we have the same cocoa can be extracted in the form of Milo. Now Milo can be found in the whole country. I was so astonished when I saw my roommate from Vietnam using Milo.
Wow.
And I asked her, wow, where did you get the Milo from? She said, I bought it from my country. I said, yeah. Do you know where this is coming from? She said, no. Then I told her, it is coming from my country.
Yeah.
That is Nestle Ghana. Though we have Nestle in India, but they are playing majority of their roles in Ghana as Nestle Ghana. So Ghana has a lot of.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. There are a lot of cultural similarities between all the regions of the world, but somehow because of external interventions, there have been boundaries drawn, animosity between different geographies. But see, your name Sheila, I mean, that is a very common name in India also.
Yeah.
So
we are
that is
still
just
talking
one
about it.
small example of how we might be located in different parts of the world, but see how even the names are common.
Yeah.
So if it's just that we are not looking for those elements of similarity, but if we look, we won't find any reason to hate each other. So thank you so much for your insights on the food. Another very interesting thing we found was this offshore oil discovery in Ghana in around 2007 or something. So, and earlier it was known for its gold, but the oil discovery it quickly made Ghana Asia's fastest growing economy. So, if you could please tell more about it and the overall economic scenario in Ghana.
I would say Ghana is not well like 100% developed country, but it is a country that we most depends on a lot of our natural resources. This fuel was discovered in central parts of the region, and I can say it is helping the country a lot, as I have seen or what is going on in the country, because there is none of the day that I have seen people being in a queue for fuel in the country, and this is as a result of we have access to the little that we have already discovered. And also you can see that this crisis that came, or the war in between Russia, Ghana depends on Russia for fuel.
Okay.
But now all the borders has been closed, but still we survive because of the little ones we have, and it has embossed the country economics also, and it has attracted foreign investors also to the country. So I can say the discovering of the fuel has helped Ghana a lot.
But thank you, and I am very happily surprised by your knowledge in almost all the sectors. We are talking about tourism, economy, politics, history, everything, and you are so comfortable in all these areas.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. We came across another very interesting thing. In Accra, the capital of Ghana, National Cathedral of Ghana is being planned. It is a multi-million-dollar building. So, and there are some debates around it also. Like some people say that country has other priorities. Why invest so much of money on this building? But there are advantages also. So, what is your take on this about this project?
Actually, I would say it is a nice project, and it will help the country a lot. I'm a Christian, but I will not say because I'm a Christian that's why I'm saying that it will help the country. Why? Because Ghanaians travel to Egypt, right?
True.
In the same form of worshiping. So why can't we build this cathedral for other people from different or all walk of life to also come to the country to worship there? And if the country is able to achieve this, it will boost the country's economy and also attract more foreigners and also change, because they say for the knowledge for the knowledge of God, people perish. So I think through the word of God, through the Christianity, it will help to reduce a lot of ungodly or badly activities that is going on in the country. So I would never say it is the building of the cathedral is the mismanagement. That's how people are saying about this government. I will never say that, because in other way it will bring unity among churches. You know, churches even fight themselves.
True.
But as all churches coming together under one roof, it will bring unity. So I don't see any bad thing about this government coming up with such policies.
Yeah.
And could you imagine other churches are contributing? It is not only about the country resources or the country money that we are using to build. There are majority of the churches that are contributing to raise up the church.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the founding of the church, or if any activities takes on, the money that you will pay can also help to raise the needy, support the orphan and the rest.
True.
So I think it is good, unless the motion behind it, that me, I don't know, then I cannot tell.
Yeah. So you mean that in the long run it will have a lot of positive effects? I know in the initial phases it might be an economic investment, but it will be recovered in multiple different ways in the long run. Yeah, very true about that. Sheila, we also came about an unfortunate incident in which a famous footballer from Ghana, Christian Atsu, he was killed in Turkey earthquake, and it was a big news in Ghana. So that means that football is very popular in Ghana. Is it true? How is the popularity of sports?
Yeah, I would say Ghana is popular in terms of sports, though we don't go far, but majority of Ghanaian players play other international teams. That makes the country popular. So Achu's incident became a big tragedy for the country, because he was not only just a footballer for the country, he was also a breadwinner for the needy, for the orphans. He owned an orphanage. He even visited prison recently, I think 2 years ago, to rescue those prisoners, to pay their bills, just for them to be set free. So those kind of people are hardly to come by. So it was a big tragedy, not only for his family alone, but also for the whole nation.
See, again, I can see that emotion while you are talking about him. So that reflects the kind of impact he had on the common people. So, but most of the people outside Ghana, they would not know these things about his philanthropic and social work. So I already see the kind of impact our podcast is going to make, because we are sharing these little small but very deep and insightful points about our country through this interaction. There is a market in Kumasi, Kijetia Market. It is said that it is one of the largest and the most diverse markets in West Africa. So, have you had a chance to visit this market? If you could please tell more about it.
Yeah. I lived in Kumasi for, I think, most of my lifetime.
Wow.
Before I moved to Accra.
What a coincidence. Yeah.
So KJTI is like 5 and 6 to me. It's like 5 and 6 to me. Yeah, KJTI is one of the largest single markets in West Africa.
Nice.
And the name KJTI came about when a man in the place, it's surrounded by shrubs, where shrubs and plants, and also other trees. So that was at first, in the colonial time, the place was surrounded by. So when people or other moved from their different locations to come to the area in search for maybe plants or other medicinal purpose, and they are looking for the direction, because there was those settlers there, they were farmers. So the man called Keja. Keja.
Yeah.
So that was the name of the man. And in our local dialect, that's Akan. the man was in a vertically challenged. When I say vertically challenged, like someone who is short.
Yeah, yeah.
So in our local dialect, Akan, we say tietia. Someone who is short is called tietia. So whenever people visit the place and they want direction, because they want to teach them easy way for them to get where they want to, they will be like, you see the KJ. Tie. So the man sitting there, use that direction, you get to where he wants to go. So the name Keja and the short man, it was misinterpreted and now become Kejetia. So that is how Kejetia came about. And now Kejetia is trending all over the world. Like if you go to America, we have Kejetia market there. If you go to UK, we have Kejetia market there. And even some parts of the regions in Ghana, like northern region, we have Kejetia market there. Yeah.
Wow.
So in Mahama's administration, that is New Democratic Congress, in their administration, they reform the market. So now it is a modernized market that have over 10,000 stores, vehicle park, hospital, police station, fire service, and a daycare. So now we call the place as a Dubai market.
Wow.
So it's a nice place that if you come, like I don't know how to tell you unless maybe you see it with your physical eye.
Wow.
So that is how KJTR came about.
So another pressing reason that I must visit Ghana at the earliest possible.
So far as it comes to Kumasi, you will definitely end to KJTR.
So there you go, audience. The etymology of this word Kejetsia, how the name came about, and the structure, the function, the composition, the takeaways of this market, everything is covered in this discussion. So Sheila, I know that the kind of richness and diversity that is there in Ghana, so we can continue and talk for days on the different dimensions, but we have the limitation of time. So I'll take one final question on India and Ghana relationship. So we came across a good presence of Indian companies in Ghana, especially in motorbikes companies. So if you could please tell us more about the presence of Indian companies in Ghana and how India and Ghana can collaborate to further take their mutual ties to the next level.
I would say in India, it's a well known in Ghana, popularly in terms of their movies. Let me say that. Ghanaians love India series because they managed to translate it in our local dialect. That's Chi.
Wow.
So people love India movies. And I quite remember one biggest TV station brought those Indian stars in Ghana, featuring this movie called Kunku Badia. So Indian became popular in Ghana. In terms of industrial things like motorbike, the same through that movie that Ghanaians discovered the motorbike called Pragia.
Okay.
In India here we call it Toto. Ghana we call it Pragia. So now this industry or this motorbike has come and minimize the traffic system in Ghana. For instance, in areas that cars cannot enter. So it has reduced people's sufferings also. And I quite remember in Mahama's administration, he also initiate in the form of the same idea, we call it can do. He said Mahama can do. So in areas like Bonahafu region, northern region, the three northern regions, those bike were introduced there because they have limited form of transport and good access of roads. So it is helping a lot. Now motorbikes, Indians motorbikes, in cooperation with one local company called Samoko and one Indian motorbike company called Baji Autos. I don't know whether I'm mentioning the name correct. So those people now are increasing on the Ghanaian market because the youths are now getting, though it hasn't been licensed, that has been a difficult debate in parliament now, that people are saying they should give authorization for motor use, popularly known as Okada in Ghana. But as of now, it hasn't been issued because people have perception that if they issue the use of Okada, there will be a lot of, armed robbery because motor are faster than vehicle.
True.
Yeah. So that is the issue now. But for now, the connection between Ghana and India in terms of motorbikes, it's rising. And day by day, it's boosting the country's economy in terms of carrying people to and fro. And the prices are also minimized, affordable, that everybody can purchase.
Nice. One final question, Sheila. Any misconception about Africa in general or Ghana that you would like to address via this podcast?
Oh, okay. I will put it in the way that some people have this mindset that the whole Africa is desert.
Yeah.
But today, I will use your platform and let them know that it's not the whole Africa that is desert. Though Sahara Desert is found in Africa, but it covers only third part of the continent. And the rest are falls under the tropic that are enriched in soil and water bodies, which is helping our agricultural produce. So the whole of Africa is not desert.
Yes, audience. So, Lake Victoria, that is also in Africa, and it is the second largest freshwater lake on earth. And the African countries, they are known for their national parks, wildlife, diversity. So a very valid point raised by Sheila that a desert is just one small geographical feature of Africa. It's not like the entire Africa is covered by desert. So I am sure that as we cover more countries under our podcast series, we get to know about more and more reasons about why we should continue making these podcasts. So when you were talking about that footballer and the kind of emotions that overwhelmed you, that was like, that gives us more energy to come up with more engaging podcasts. And you talked about a very strong India-Ghana ties, how people love Bollywood, the wide scale presence of motorbikes companies. And I'm sure that through this podcast, the people will get to know more about Ghana, and India and Ghana ties will reach another level. Thank you so much, Sheila, for your valuable time.